AITA for calling out my dad's abuse in front of our entire family and splitting it in half. Last weekend, my husband 36F and I 35F took our two daughters, our 5-year-old biological daughter and our 14-year-old adopted daughter, to a large family barbecue that happens once a year. It's the only time both sides of our extended family, my mom's and my dad's, come together. The event has always held an odd place in my heart. On paper, it's a celebration. Cousins catching up, children running around, grandparents smiling as they reminisce about the good old days. But for me, it's also a reminder of everything I went through growing up and all the people who never stepped in to stop it. This was also the only time of year I see my immediate family. And when I say that, I mean my parents and the younger sister they had later in life, who is now 15. We live in different states, and our relationship has never been what you'd call close, especially not with my dad. Growing up, my father was cruel, not in the way sitcom dads are with harmless gruffness and corny jokes. I mean real, vicious cruelty. He was physically abusive, emotionally manipulative. He used fear like other parents use affection, like a tool. I'm the oldest of several siblings, and I often bore the brunt of his anger. I remember once when I was around 12, I didn't clean the dishes fast enough. He grabbed me by the shoulders and shoved me so hard into the kitchen wall that I blacked out and woke up in the ER with a concussion. Another time, he twisted my brother's arm so hard during an argument that it actually fractured. My mom never stopped him. Worse, she denied it ever happened. She would tell people we were making it up, exaggerating, being sensitive. Her version of reality was always one where we were the bad kids and my father was just strict. That dynamic poisoned our entire household. As we got older, some of us cut contact. Some stayed, trapped in the cycle. I chose to stay partially in contact, for two reasons. My mother, who I still held a small sliver of hope for, and my youngest sister, who's still a minor. I wanted to be someone safe in her life. This barbecue was the first time I brought both of my kids. It was a big step. I was nervous but hopeful. I told myself I'd avoid my dad, keep the peace, and leave if things got bad. But I wasn't expecting him to start the moment I walked in. He was ordering me around like I was still his teenage daughter under his roof. Take that inside. Why are you late? Go help your mother. All said with that condescending sneer that made my skin crawl. I bit my tongue. For 2 hours I played the game. I smiled. I helped. I avoided him when I could. Later in the day, a bunch of my cousins planned to head out for drinks and a kid-free catch-up session. My husband and I were excited. But then I found out the plan was to leave all the children, including mine, under the supervision of the grandparents and great-grandparents. That meant my kids would be alone with him. I declined immediately. No hesitation. I said I wasn't comfortable leaving my children behind. My dad overheard and stormed over, loudly accusing me of hatting him, embarrassing him in front of the family. He demanded to know why I always had a problem. That's when I calmly, at first, told him the truth. I would never leave my daughters alone with a man who abused me for most of my life. He laughed, and said, "You're exaggerating. I never hurt you that bad." Then he added something that completely broke me. "And besides, I'm only watching one of your kids anyway. That other girl's not even yours. You just picked her up like a stray." He was talking about my 14-year-old daughter, the one we adopted a year ago from foster care. The one who's been through hell and back and has worked so hard to start trusting adults again. And in that moment, something inside me just snapped. I turned to face him fully, and in front of my entire extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, children, I let it all out. I told them everything, every shove, every slap, every bruise he left behind and forced us to hide. How he once dragged my brother outside barefoot in the snow as punishment. How he would mock me when I cried, tell me I was weak, worthless, a mistake. I told them how he never once said he was sorry. How my mother stood by him, gaslighting us into silence. I even told them the truth about my sister, that I've been terrified for her safety for years. That we tried to get custody when she was 11. That CPS has been called more than once but couldn't act due to lack of physical evidence. That I live every day wondering if she'll call me in tears again, or worse, won't call at all. When I finished, the yard was silent. Everyone was just staring at him. No one laughed. No one defended him. I packed up our things and left with my husband and kids. We drove home in silence, my 5-year-old clutching her stuffed animal and my 14-year-old quietly crying in the backseat. It's been almost a week since then. My phone hasn't stopped blowing up. My mom is furious. She says I scared my little sister, that I'm a horrible daughter, that I humiliated our family. My dad, surprise, hasn't apologized. He just sends angry texts telling me I've ruined everything. But here's the thing. Half of my extended family has cut him off. A few cousins wrote to say they always knew something was wrong, but didn't know what. Others said they're proud of me for finally saying it. I feel everything, angry, relieved, guilty, terrified. The worst part is that I've lost contact with my little sister. My parents have blocked me on her phone. I can't even check on her. I don't know if she's okay. Some of my siblings think I took it too far, that I could have handled it privately. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should have waited, found a quieter way to say it, but I've waited for decades, and no one listened until I screamed. So, AITA for calling out my dad's abuse in front of the whole family, even though it might have made things worse for my mom and sister.